If you live right,
heaven belongs to you.
if you live right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you live right,
Heaven belongs to you.
oh,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you live right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you live right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you live right,
Heaven belongs to you. Oh, heaven belongs to you.
if you walk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you walk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you walk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
oh,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you talk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you talk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you talk right,
Belongs to you. Oh, heaven belongs to you.
if you pray right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you pray right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you pray right,
Belongs to you.
yeah,
Heaven belongs to you.
treat your neighbor right,
Heaven belongs to you.
treat your neighbor right,
Heaven belongs to you.
treat your neighbor right,
Heaven belongs to you.
oh Lord,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you live right, if you live right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you live right,
Heaven belongs to you.
oh,
Belongs to you.
if you walk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you walk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you walk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
oh Lord,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you talk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you talk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you talk right,
Heaven belongs to you.
yeah,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you pray right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you pray right,
Heaven belongs to you.
if you pray right,
Heaven belongs to you.
Today, we're going to be talking to the chairman of the St. Mary Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ Trustee Board. He worked very closely with Miss Maggie Morgan, and he also lived in the same community. Today, he's going to give us some insight on not just her work at the church, but also her work in the community. So first of all, thank you, Mr. Ricky Howard, for agreeing to interview today.
My pleasure.
Okay, wonderful. You just go ahead and let us know about the work that you did with Miss Maggie Morgan at inside the community.
Well, she was a faithful worker in the community with a tireless effort. I mean, in the southern end of Nash County, there was nothing going on for the community. Everything we had to go to the northern end, and she worked tirelessly to see this. Something came to this end, like a community. She was pushing for a community building. So the community building that you see down the road really started with her trying to get it there. And I know I wish she could have lived to see it down there, because I mean, it was a whole lot of work involved in that, because she contacted numerous of people trying to get this thing off the ground.
Okay. And so what types of things, I know you said that she worked tirelessly. How does she include the rest of the community to get that effort done, or to try to get that effort done?
She tried to rally everybody in the community to work toward that effort. I mean, she even went to the county commissioners anybody that would listen, she was in their ear.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so, did you personally attend any of the meetings or anything with her as she was trying to get that done?
Yes, I sure did.
Okay.
And like you normally get run around at times, but I think it was certain stages that you had to go to qualify for that, and like the community had to raise X amount of dollars,
Mm,
and then the county would match it.
okay. So what did I know she didn't get the community I know she started the process of the community building
Mhm.
being in that area, but what did she actually get done?
Well, some of the things that she got done was she got everybody involved. Some of us involved in the community voices, which was a leadership class sponsored by A&T State University over in Nashville at the Ag Center, in which I think it was a 12-week long process where we had to go to class every Saturday for 12 weeks.
Hmm. Okay. I have the privilege of speaking with one of Miss Maggie Morgan's good friend. As a matter of fact, she considered her a second mom. After her mom passed away, she just took her in her arms and just really took care of her. And so we have with us today Miss Thelma Richardson. And so, Miss Thelma Richardson, thank you again for agreeing to talk about Miss Maggie Morgan today.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Well, it's a pleasure.
Oh,
I enjoy talking about people that I love.
go ahead and tell us a little bit about your relationship with Maggie Morgan.
Okay. Well, my relationship with Mom Meg, who I call Mom Meg, um, was during the time when my mother was also on the usher board with her, the senior usher board. Okay, and I don't know, we just really became close, working on the usher board, and then singing in the choir. We got real close that way as well. And I don't know, we just travel a lot together with the choir. Most likely I was the driver, and with the usher board, going to the different unions, and also traveling to Goldsboro Raleigh Assembly. I'm the driver. Sometimes she was the driver, and we had some more people traveling with us. But those are some of the good times that we had, and even the time during the district assembly when we had to go in. We probably left on Thursday during the daytime, and we spent the night, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, at the different hotels that we had to go to, and we was always right there close together. There, after my mom passed, we became even closer. When I go to work during the daytime, it'd be her house, either Monsignor house, that I stopped to before I got home, because they always had something there to eat.
Okay.
I always enjoyed it. I really did. I always enjoyed it. And like I was telling you before the recording started, I always call her Mom Meg, although she was a mother of the church. And so I can't bring her name without bringing my Sylvia's name in there too, because they were just like that as well, real close. And I don't know, we just grew that way, Although, and even her children, accepted me as one of their sisters, in other words, okay? And so I don't know, she was there. She was just here.
Okay.
Someone I could talk to.
Okay. Well, just like most mothers, especially most mothers, we learn a lot from them.
Just
So
You're
tell me,
right.
tell me, yeah. So tell me some things that maybe some life lessons or just some everyday lessons that you recall learning from Miss Mag.
I remember her telling me, just after I had gotten engaged to get married, she said, Thelma, she said, now, regardless of all your friends that you have and people that you love and that you don't mind talking to, said, but if you ever have a problem with your husband or y'all having some little friction, said, you don't go to anyone. You go to God and you talk to him and you talk to your husband. So sharing your problem. So I obeyed it. I listened to that. And there was one good thing that I think that the best thing that she ever has said to me based on life situation. You know, don't share all your whatever with other people, although they may be your best friend. Go to the Lord first.
Oh, that's a great lesson to learn.
I
Okay.
really think that she probably have made some impact on other people too, because well, my man was the kind of person that would tell you the truth before she even said anything. If she going to say anything that wasn't the truth, I think she would have just kept her mouth closed, you know.
Okay.
But she
Mhm.
said, "Now I know that you're not doing exactly what you need to do."
You also said she was a member of the choir. So tell me about some of the experiences because you said you guys traveled a lot singing in the choir. So tell me some of those experiences.
The gospel choir. She was our advisor. Um, she wasn't the president. She was the advisor. Larry was the president, but she always advised us. She always tried to keep us um, in not in tune, but it's in what is it? Always kept us straight. Let me put
Mhm.
it that way. Let me just put it straight. She always tried to keep us straight, making sure that we were doing what we supposed to do, singing the kind of song that we supposed to be singing. And you always the encourager. And like I said, when we had to go to different places to sing as a group, we always traveled together unless she had some other people traveling with her. And then if I had some other people traveling with me, but we always ended up together. You know, it was the choir. And we were one of the first members of the gospel choir, along with some other members. But yes, we started the choir all together.
So how do you think she was able to balance all of these auxiliaries at the same time as having just a regular life?
She could, she could balance it. I know the good Lord helped her out.
Okay, okay. When you think about, and I know I just asked you about advice, but when you think about her just in general, I mean, she was your friend and y'all worked in church together. There was just like so many pieces of her life that you were a part of. But when you think about her, what's the most vivid memory that you have of her?
Most vivid memory. I don't know. I guess the most vivid memory is sometimes when we had to make a decision or go somewhere, she said, I'm just sitting flat in the wagon. So whatever y'all do, she would say, I'm just sitting flat in the wagon. And I guess that little song that she used to sing, Lord, let me see, can I get it? Heaven belongs to you. If you live right,
Hmm.
heaven belongs
Hmm.
to you. So
Hmm.
that was one of her songs that she would sing. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, heaven belongs to you. And she would also, Lord, it was another song that she would sing, um, because he lived. She loved that one too, because he lived. Um, and I don't know, it was a whole lot of other songs that she did, but those two there was the one that stuck in my mind the most. I
Okay.
don't know because I love him too, or because of the meaning of the song, or whatever, but those are the two songs that I can remember.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about her today that you think that people would like to know as we are remembering her for this Black History Month?
Well, I guess see, she would always welcome anyone at home, and she enjoyed cooking, serving people. Uh, she didn't never really. She was in the background. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
She wasn't the kind of person that just wanted to be out, in the open, the spotlight shining on them. I never. She never presented herself to me that way. Okay,
Hmm.
and so I guess that's something that I enjoyed about her because she wasn't a person that waited for someone to pat her on the back. You know, we all love praises, but we're gonna get our most biggest praise would be in heaven. And we loved our flowers here on earth, but with Mom Mag, I think she was just content of seeing people happy,
Mm,
seeing people happy.
okay. That's a good life lesson. And that's something when you see someone um, showing that, you learn
Mhm.
that lesson better than someone just telling you.
That's true. That's so
Hmm.
true.
Hmm. Wonderful. Okay, well, good. Thank you so much again for sharing that information. This has been very insightful, and I appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you for just selecting me as one of the people to talk about her.
Oh,
Okay.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Okay. You take care then.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
So I have with me today a member of St. Mary Church who worked very closely with Miss Maggie Morgan. And her name is Miss Vera Farmer. And today she's going to let us know about the times that they spent together during the mission department and other opportunities at St. Mary Church. So, Miss Vera, can you tell us about the times that you and Miss Maggie Morgan worked together?
Yes, I can. Me and Miss Maggie worked together under leadership of Bishop E.L. Uzzell and also under leadership of Pastor H.C. Eatman. And we had a good relationship together as Miss Maggie always had a motto, we gonna work till Jesus come. And she always did things that us young people could pat on. Did a good example for our, set a good example for the young missions, and we follow her instructions. She did a lot of things that was in the community, in the statewide, and the African. She did sent stuff. We did stuff over in Africa.
So, what things did you keep going because you saw that she did a good job in starting it?
She trained us to learn how to go to Goldsboro to the convention, and she trained us how to work in the community to help people, to go around and visit the sick and go to the hospital and cook food and doing a lot of charity and donating stuff to people that was in need. She did a good job of training us how to do things like that.
Okay.
Also, she had an educational, she had invited an educational program into the to St. Mary Church. We had adult education here at St. Mary Church. And then we had one of our members, a couple of our members graduated from the National Community College through the educational service that we had here.
Okay. And did she also go through that adult education class herself?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
she
So,
did.
so not only did she better herself, but she did things to better other people also.
Also, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Good. So, what is when you think about Miss Maggie Morgan? What is one of the fondest memories that you have of her?
The fondest memories I had of her that she stayed happy and she always had a motto that we're gonna work till Jesus come. And she had a song that she liked to sing about uh, walking with Jesus, walking with Jesus. She enjoyed singing and she enjoyed uh, ushering. She was a very exciting person that will do anything that, if she could, she would do what you would ask her to do, if it's in her, in the way that she could do it. Sister Maggie, she had a lot of daughters. Everybody, she would treat all the young girls and young boys too. They would catch on with her. They would say, "Oh, Mom Mag, this is Mom Mag. We Mom Mag's children. Mom Mag and Mother Silver. They had extra families, extra children that they were so good of people that you would just catch on to them and you didn't want to depart from them. So that's what carried me along. And then when we got ready to do something at the church, uh, all I did do was just ask. And Mother Malcolm said, "Well, we'll get it together. We'll try to do it, through the missionary department, and not the missionary department, but any other thing that she could do. If it was, singing in the choir and ushering, she did that too."
Well, thank you so much for sharing your memories of Miss Maggie Morgan. We really appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
We have with us today Miss Mahassan Bilal, who is the granddaughter of Mrs. Maggie Morgan. She actually lived with her from age 1 to age 16. So she is going to be able to share a wealth of experiences and knowledge with us today about Miss Maggie Morgan. So Mahassan, tell us about your grandmother.
Well, to be corrected, she's my great grandmother.
Oh, okay.
She is my mother's mother, and my great grandmother raised all of us. So she raised her three, which was Joyce, which is my grandmother, Helen Jean, and McCoy Matthews, which is he's in North Carolina with you guys now. And then she raised my mother, which is Michelle Matthews Weems, and she raised myself. So she raised 5 generations of us, but there's 5 generations, and she's my great grandmother. So yes, she's the light. She's the light of Thompson Morgan's family. That's a whole nutshell.
Okay.
She just a wonderful person all the way around.
Okay, wonderful. So earlier before we started recording, you were telling me about all these different auxiliaries and everything that
Hmm.
she was in with the church, and not just St. Mary Church, but also the Goldsboro Raleigh District Assembly. Um, Tell us about that. And were you in tow with her? Did you do all these things with her too?
Well, if everyone knows me from St. Mary Bailey with my Hassan running around pulling mom's coattail, yes, I was with her everywhere. Far as missionary meetings, far as prayer meetings, we used to be with Andrew Hart. Um, far we used to go to Miss Annie's house to have prayer meetings when they didn't have it in church for a while when they was rebuilding our church. We did DCYF. She used to work with Miss Daphne with that, bringing that branched over. Went to Goldsboro Valley Assembly with that. Usher board. She was big time in our usher board in St. Mary. She was big time usher board for as Wilson District, which is part of Goldsboro Valley Institute. She was the president of that. She also was the president of the missionary board for Goldsboro Valley Institute and also president for St. Mary's Missionary Board. Um, Cooked. She was the chef for St. Mary Bailey for many years. All our things that we have, like the Bishop Uzzell anniversary, homegoing services. She used to do the repasses for them. She used to cook with another lady that has been at our church family for a long time, Syria Brown. They used to team up and cook together for that. She also was the head of the cooking committee for Wilson District. So she had a lot of hats throughout our whole establishment, from St. Mary all the way up to the Goldsboro Valley Institute. So she had a hand, a sprinkle of all the way around that, all the way around.
Okay. With that, have in your life now, do you have what lessons do you learn from those experiences of her being a servant for not only the church but also the assembly? What lessons have you learned from that?
Lessons from my grandmother was to be very persistent and always go in life, never, never not getting what you want per se. Always achieve or try to stretch far as you can to what you want your life to be. She started out, she didn't even have a high school education. She didn't go up to only to the 6th grade, but only going up to the 6th grade, she accomplished so many things. She went back to school. Thelma Richardson now, because she's married. She went back to school, and Thelma Richardson taught her how to go back into school, helped her get her certificate for graduating from high school because she didn't have that. So she always felt that you're never too old to prosper to what you want for life, what you want to have in life. She worked very hard to always achieve for the best. She made, as they say, $1 out of 15 cents. You would think it would be like the smallest things. She made it feel like the wealth was of a millionaire. Like anything she touched, it brought resilience. So she's always told me to strive No one can tell you what you can't be. They can assume what you cannot be, but she has always pushed anyone she's touched. She has always pushed in a mindset that you can be anything that you want to be. You can achieve anything that you want. The sky's the limit. And I use that now with my daughter, who's 9, that anything that you want to be, you can do it. No one can't tell you that you can't do it.
Okay, good. So when you think about her, and I think you're calling her mom Maggie. When you think about her, what are some of the fondest memories that you have of her? I
Well,
know you said that she was a great cook, and
well, the cook part, out of our family, I've taken that. So one of the biggest things that she did is that she spoke through her food. You knew when you ate her food, you knew that it was made from love. You knew that you just saw a lot of different pictures within it. That's one of my go-to things that I do. I do have my own catering business here in New York. It soothes me. It brings me closer to her. There's a lot of times that she's been gone. She's been gone for a long time, that when I find myself can't make through things, or I find myself that I'm not having a great day, I always go back to her. She's my comfort place. That I know when I think about her with me cooking, it brings me back to reality of what can be, and I know I can get through anything with that.
Okay. Tell us something that I haven't asked you yet that you would like for the world to know about her.
It's just, at least it's just so much. Like, if anyone that knows her, and a lot of people know her, that her presence alone just carries everything. Even when you go inside of our church, and if I go, like the last time I went to church, I think they had Bible Bible service or Bible study. I came into the kitchen, which now is rebuilt because the whole church is different. But when you look to your right and you go inside the middle of our sanctuary and you just look to your right, it's like you see her. Like, she resumes all of St. Mary. Even though she's not there, her presence is just, it's hard to kind of explain, because she's everything that you guys do. I see her. When you look at if you look at the right hand, like I said, that's the mother side of the church where they sit, where Miss Daphne and everyone sit. She sat in that corner every Sunday when the gospel choir used to sing. Even though it's not the gospel choir in the choir stand, when I look to my right, to the far right, where the piano used to be, I don't know if it's still there now because I haven't been to our church in so long. Yeah. You see her, so it's like she's all over the place, and it makes you feel, you're at home, even though a lot of our descendants have passed and they're gone. When you go back home, it presents itself. It's just a warming presence about her. Anyone who needs help, she always helped anyone. It didn't make a difference who you were, down from the bishops, down for someone who just came to church for that Sunday and really didn't know where else to turn. I get caught up and I get emotional because it's just so much things I can say about her that I can go on and on.
Well, good. Thank you so much for taking your time out today so that we can reflect upon her, and thank you for sharing your experiences.
No problem. Great pleasure.
Okay.
If you live right,
That God belongs to you.
if you live right,
That God belongs to you.
if you live